Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
We're the Gilbert High School student section, and you're watching Friday Night Blitz. Yeah!
First of all, those glow sticks rule.
Those were the best.
Awesome.
Those were great.
Welcome into Friday Night Blitz. I'm Raina Garcia, joined by Trey Redfield. Trey, we're at the point where stuff is starting to get real.
It's legit. I mean, playoffs for some classes were tonight. Playoff feel in Class 4A for tonight's game of the week. Gilbert and North Polk fighting for a district title this evening. Stakes are high and high enough to feel like a playoff game later in the postseason, that is.
We're both teams that win the close games, and yeah, we're no strangers to that.
Every day is a chance to get better. Got to keep doing those championship reps every day.
Every championship rep more important than ever. It's the case in Gilbert tonight, where the undefeated Tigers get the defending champion Comets of North Polk.
We've been in close games all the way through to the fourth quarter. We've had leads where we didn't quite maintain it.
And so the goal is to set ourselves up to do whatever we can to play well. And you never play perfect, so you can always continue to add on to playing well.
We know what it's like to play from behind. We know what it's like to play with a lead, and we've had a lead and we've lost it and lost the game. So we've learned a lot.
Players well aware of the stakes tonight. A win in the District 5 finale means a district title and a playoff game at home to begin the postseason.
Coach always tries to preach to us that it's not bigger than any other game, but I feel like in our heads we all know that this one's definitely a little bigger than the rest. We want to be at home next week and play at home as much as we can before we go to the Dome, hopefully.
We always talk about playing the guy to the left of you, playing the guy to the right of you. You look to the left and the right, you see you got to be the guy to step up for those guys, and you're not letting them down.
Usually, most times, whatever trench wins is the team that's going to win the game. So that battle, it's going to be tight. It's going to be physical, and we're definitely going to be waking up on Saturday feeling it.
We would die for one another. That's how I think of it. We have each other's backs. We play for each other every week, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
Game of the Week sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
Both of these teams are playoff bound, but the higher the seed, the better, right? Well, that was Gilbert's mindset, and it was shining right from the jump. The rashes were showing why on the ground. Ethan to Aiden, Goners. First drive of the game is a success. The Tigers hit the Comets in the mouth to begin the ball game. 7-0 home team leads. Ground game was not done just yet. Gilbert running the option again. Live, laugh, love Army football. This time it's Gabe Fierce. 55 yards. Don't call. Don't text. Halfway through the first, Gilbert has a 14-0 lead on the defending champions. North Polk was without James Armstrong tonight. Chase Bowe steps in, and on the third drive of the game, it's the strongest in the first half. Brady Cathcart makes the catch to keep the drive alive and get the first down, but the Tigers' front four was on fire tonight, even stopping the Wildcat here. Blake Bell leading the charge on this third down stop. Tigers forced the field goal and go on the win big, 49-18 the final tonight.
Well, another huge game with playoff implications in 3A. Winterset hosting Des Moines Christian. DMC turning to the ground game early. Davis Tokheim turns on the Jets for a long run deep into Husky territory, and that will set up the first score of the game once again. It's Tokheim in a 4-6. The Lions add to their lead here. A screen pass from Maxtown to Tate Olson gets the job done. DMC leads 14-0 in the second, but Winterset not going down without a fight. Carson Cook dumps it off to Drake McDonald, and he makes a diving effort for the goal line here. Does he lose it at the line? Well, refs say he's down. Huskies turn to Ben Porter to finish the job to make it 14-6 just before the half. Winterset with the gotta have it win. They defeat Des Moines Christian 31-20.
That makes that call at the goal line even more important, right? But let's go north. Ankeny Centennial working Sioux City North, and it kept on going when I showed up. Javaris Morgan had 2 rushing scores. The rushing TUD invite got out of the group chat. Devin Good wanted in, and he got in for 6 here. It moves the Jaguar lead up to 21-zip. All the running backs were eating tonight, by the way. Max Schmitz got his 6 as well on a screen on the far side. The sophomore absolutely pumped once he makes his way into the end zone. I would be too. Make it 28-0 Centennial leads. But it wasn't just running backs tonight. Brecken Miller letting it fly as well. This pass to Cameron Miners, pure, all Centennial, all gas, no breaks tonight. Jags win big, 49-7.
Well, after a huge upset win over rival Waukee Northwest last week, Waukee was looking to follow that up with another statement win over Waterloo West. Dave Bingham has the highlights.
Week 9, 5A, got a win to get in. Waukee, big upset last week against Waukee Northwest, put themselves into position. Got a pretty good Waterloo West team coming down here tonight. They're 12th in the RPI. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, we bring on the rain in week 9 as we get ready for the postseason for everybody next week. And boy, the Warhawks come to town. That's big Carson Nielsen, number 77, leading this team, trying to get in the postseason. First possession for Waukee. The ball gets tipped and picked. That's Torian Doss with a big interception for the Warhawks. And then they capitalize. That's Brett McGovern with the touchdown. 7-zip Waterloo West early. And then Beckett Baker gets going, not to the air this time with the wheels. This time 39 yards, takes it down to the 12. And 3 plays later, Baker calls his own number, little hesitation, powers it in. 7-7. And then in the second quarter, little hesitation, quarterback draw, and he gets the wheels going here. Baker off to the races, 70 yards for the touchdown. It's 14-7 Warriors. And then he's got another answer because he's got a great player. Little inside handoff, and that's Jay White. He likes it. 33 yards, 21-7 Warriors. And then this time, Baker to the air, finds the big guy, future Texas A&M Aggie. That's Evan Jacobson. 28-7 Waukee at the break. Second half, both teams add a couple touchdowns, and we'll show you those on our Dome Dynasty social media. A lot of action. Wet out here tonight, and now both teams will have to sit back and see what happens as the pairings come out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. But a great Week 9 finish for the Warriors here in Waukee tonight. Send it back to you in the studio.
And if you weren't able to make it out to a game next week, we've got you covered. We're partnering with Central Iowa Sports Network to bring you one of next week's playoff games on WeAreIowa Plus. Just download it on your smart TV and start watching for free.
Let's go back up to Gilbert for our first play of the week. Chase Pierce was goners in seconds on this pitch from Ethan Rash. The senior with the house call from 55 yards out. Tigers with a dominant win tonight. We'll talk more about their stats coming up later on Friday Night Blitz. We are not done with Gilbert just yet, baby.
No, we are not. Well, we're just getting started here on Friday Night Blitz. We'll have plenty more games coming your way after the break. Plus, we'll go inside the huddle with the Norwalk Warriors.
Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Des Moines Orthopedic Surgeons.
Moving up to the biggest class in the state is no easy task, and after a bumpy start, the Norwalk Warriors hit their stride and have been rolling ever since.
Talk to one another. Where are you going? Set. Hut.
We started off with 3 games, not going our way, like we wanted to, and then we kind of stepped up and took initiative in ourselves. Like, we got to figure something out. We got to find a way to get a win, and we did that, and then we kind of took off. We're on a 5-game win streak, we're keeping it rolling, and we just need to keep that up.
In all honesty, I think it was a Southeast Polk game. I think there were a lot of people had that game circled from the standpoint of only state champion in Class 5A football coming to town. How do we measure up? And while we didn't win, I think our kids finally figured out that they could compete. And then that essentially got us started, and then just been fortunate enough to have some games that have worked out in our favor.
Well done on the breakdown and getting the hands going. And here, right? That's the one thing we talked about yesterday, as opposed to getting out here, really be in tight with the chest.
Really believed in us, but I think we all bought in, and we kind of took offense to that a little bit, I guess. We just worked hard, and we're 5-3 in 5A, the biggest class in Iowa, and it shows how much work we put in.
The Warriors rounding out the regular season, hosting WeAreIowa Northwest. Just under a minute left before the half. Wolves up 21-7. Paolo Tabongi runs right through traffic and finds a lane right into the end zone. Northwest takes a 28-7 lead at the half. Third quarter, Norwalk going for it on 4th and goal, but this pass is broken up by Elliott Comby. The Warriors turn it over on downs. But Northwest gives it right back. Luke Brewer knocks the ball loose, and Norwalk is back in business. They get the ball back inside the 10, but unfortunately for them, we're going to see the same result. The Wolves' defense gets pressure and forces another turnover on downs. But check this out. Matt Kylan and the offense, they're able to right the wrong of the last drive. He takes a shot down the field to a wide open Jordan Green. And the rest, as they say, is history. WeAreIowa Northwest closes out the regular season with a dominant win over Norwalk 42-7.
Tell you what, man, Matt Keitlin is so good. Let's get back on the playoff train. Class A, Madrid hosting North Butler. Tigers were pouncing from start to finish in this one. Easton Halverson getting it going first. The first rushing score of many for the Tigers, who take a 7-0 lead. Defensively, the boys were buzzing as well. Taryn Lawrenson kept it burning in the first quarter with a sack of his own. One of the captains on this team leads to more offense. Will Atkinson this time around with a touchdown of his own. Neck collar gang, stand up. Let's go. Tigers with a 14-0 lead in the second. Through the air, Madrid rolling 2. Logan Belke back in the arena. Gets it to Emerson Bridgewater here. +6 for the Tigers. That made it a 20-0 ball game. Madrid is onward big time. Tigers win 48-8.
In the Class 2A playoffs, Van Meter hosting South Tame County in the first round. How's this one for setting the tone? Henry Lounsbury going deep. He finds his buddy Annan Watson. He says, bro, get off me. I'm scoring. Van Meter jumps out to a 7-0 lead. South Tame trying to catch the Bulldogs off guard here with a trick play. And it almost works, but Christian Williams, check this out, causes the fumble. And then Lexon Blevins is there for the recovery, and we are headed the other way, folks. It is Van Meter football, and as my favorite coach Mike Tomlin always says, we do not live in our fears, and neither does Coach Trudeau. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time. Lounsbury connects with Blevins for the touchdown. Van Meter goes on to win this one over South Tame, 45-6.
WeAreIowa does not live with its fears either. The Warriors with yet another impressive win tonight. Last week, WeAreIowa Northwest. Tonight, over Waterloo West. Maybe WeAreIowa's in the postseason. We'll see. But for now, we'll send it back out to Dave Bingham, who caught up with our Coach of the Week, Gabe Baker.
All right, our Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Coach of the Week, Gabe Baker. And, you know, last week I think got a lot of people's attention, but this one was important tonight. What did it mean to finish out the regular season against a pretty good football team?
Oh, man, I'm just so proud of these kids. You know, with the schedule we had and kind of the setbacks we had early, they stuck together. They always came to work at practice, and they had fun. The seniors had great leadership, and now we've gone on a little run here at the end of the season, so hopefully we'll see what happens in the future.
You knew you had a good team, but you still, I'm sure you guys were talking to yourself. Your staff was working hard, like, are we going to be able to do this? And now there's a chance that you could be getting in the playoffs. What's it mean to be able to prepare now for postseason?
You know, that's always what you want to do. The seeding doesn't matter at this stage of the game. If you get in, you got a chance, especially in 5A football. And I think our kids have done enough. I've done the math a little bit, but there's some people smarter than I have also. And like I said, we'll just wait and see, and hopefully it shakes out our way. Excuse me.
You've had quite a journey as a coach, and now you've kind of landed in WeAreIowa, and you went with these kids, and your own kid have been a part of it. Are you gonna ever come down from the high tonight? I mean, you're gonna be feeling pretty good. I mean, it has to be special with your kid, and then those kids become your kids.
Absolutely. You know, when my family came here to take this job, it was 5 years ago. So these kids were our first group that played WeAreIowa Warrior football with the school split in 8th grade. So now these kids are seniors, so they're our kids. They've been in our program, and especially having the quarterback be your son and kind of doing the things he does has been really, really special over the last 4 years.
Be some Bakers running around here for a while. We'll let you go celebrate. How about that?
Hey, thank you very much.
Right,
appreciate you guys.
Send it back to you guys in the studio.
Our second play of the week nominee comes from Van Meter, and this trick play was looking like it was going to be our play of the week nominee, but that extra effort from the Van Meter defense is what makes the Bulldogs our nominee. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, Trey and I are going to give away our game ball for Week 9.
This is Comment Nation, and you're watching Friday Night Blitz.
Final play of the week nominee. Another long rushing score. That comes from my guy, Beckett Baker. Waukee senior QB, 70 yards. He's not coming back. He may have just gotten the Warriors into the postseason. We don't know that yet, but for now, Waukee's a winner. Big time over Waterloo West.
Game Ball, sponsored by Fairway Meat and Grocery.
All right, it's that time. We got to give away that game ball. We're going with another team game ball.
It's all about the team.
That's right.
The team, the team, the team. They're the best. We talked about this before we came on. Gilbert may be the best in Class 4A. We'll see. Tonight it looks like it. The Tigers thumped North Polk 49-18. That's great. That's not why they get this game ball. This is Gilbert's first undefeated regular season program history. They rushed tonight for 465 yards. And how many times did they throw the football?
I'm going to take a guess and say just one.
Once. One time. It was all about that. The triple option, left and right. It worked to Gilbert's advantage, and it may just take them to the Unidome later in this season. Huge win for Gilbert. Who would have thought it would have been this bad tonight?
I just know you were in heaven with this game.
100%.
Only throwing the ball once. You're a big ground game guy.
Oh my gosh, I love the ground game. We went from the triple option to the wing T. I was in heaven tonight.
Gilbert, you made this guy very, very happy.
Love you.
Props to you. We're heading down the home stretch here on Friday Night Blitz, and after the break, we'll reveal our Play of the Week winner.
Play of the Week, sponsored by Taco John's.
All right, it's time to name our Play of the Week winner. We don't have a lot of these left, just 3 more, including this one.
Man, don't remind me.
I know.
This is fun.
I had to kill 5.
It wasn't any of the rushing scores, by the way. As great as both those were. With us, it's about the hustle plays.
That's right.
We had that at Van Meter, who was hosting South Tama County in the first round of the playoffs in 2A. Trick play is stellar. It came out clean. But the punch out is even cleaner. Christian Williams spurts it free, and Lexon Blevins comes out with the recovery. Dogs are moving on tonight with a 45-6 win and our Week 9's Play of the Week winner.
All right, well, we're going to take one final break, but when we come back, Dre and I will put a bow on Week 9 with our final thoughts. Man, this week was electric. Some great finishes. I think we have to start out in 3A with Winterset. What a win. This was a gotta-have-it game for both teams, really.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that Winterset was probably the underdog going into this game. They came out with the win. District champs, head to the playoffs. I believe for the first time since that 2021 season, they made it to the Dome.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Time.
But it's so tough. I mean, District 5 is one of, if not the toughest districts in Class 3A.
Yeah.
Nevada's in as well with its 63-21 dominant win over Knoxville. Bigger question is, do 3 teams make it in District 5? It's going to come down to RPI with Des Moines Christian.
Yeah, it was chaos, especially in these last 3 weeks. But shout out to the Huskies. Congrats, they are on to the postseason.
With that, too, how about, goodness, I don't know why I'm blanking. Waukee Back-to-back wins?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Big time. They are
Needed
not
that.
out of things just yet. That is grit right there.
Yeah.
To pull out those massive wins with your backs against the wall. Shout
Right.
out to Gabe Baker and the crew.
The
getting
boys
those
have
wins.
a chance. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? I mean, it's crazy. Gilbert, nasty too.
Oh man, good luck to whoever tries to stop them because they look like a well-oiled machine. When you can beat North Polk like that, whew, it's scary
Look,
out there.
I know North Polk was without James Armstrong tonight,
sure.
but the offense still did what it did. You rushed for 465 yards the way you did tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to look out for the Tigers going forward.
We are all in on the playoffs next
Yes,
week.
we are.
We're in for a good one.
Let's go.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on Friday Night Blitz. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.